Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your monthly reading for March 2026. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're gonna jump right in. We're gonna get down to business. I did tell you last week. Like it was all about you. The end of February, and here we are. It's a month that's all about you. Listen, I also you'll notice I moved the plan a little bit because this is the blizzard that we're going through. And I thought it was just really beautiful. I thought it was really just so gorgeous. So hopefully you can see the snowfall and all of that. But anyway, if you are new to my channel, I do a tradition. Oh no, what am I saying? If you're new to my channel, I'm gonna give you your astrological overview. Then I'm gonna do your full Celtic cross spread, and then after that, we'll break it down week by week. I'll pull more cards. We'll look at, some weeks specifically for you. And then the second spread, okay? Virgo, this is a loaded month. I want you to know that. There's going to be a lot of changes. I'm so serious about this. And I've got you, right? My dog's a Virgo, my mom's a Virgo. I'm a Virgo moon, 29-degree Virgo moon. So I get what's going on, and I see what's happening for you, and I really want you to know that this is a big month for you. But I do have great news for you. You have been accepted to Spiritual Warrior Academy. So congratulations. I mean, classes start right now. All right. You're gonna go through a lot of life experiences this month that test that leader, the role model, the hero within you, your vision moving forward, so you get exactly what you want, what you deserve. And you can thank Saturn and Neptune, okay? They paid for your enrollment, and honestly, they gave you no choice. So in this academy, you are going to transform, okay? You're going to be in transformation mode. And out of all the signs, Virgo, you're up there. You're at the top of the list, all right? Because of a lot that's happening, but also thanks to, the Great Reset that we recently had with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. And clearly, because everybody was talking about that, a lot of people forgot that it happened literally in the middle of eclipse season. We still have an eclipse, and as you can see, it is in your sign. Now, the biggest thing is the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, the Great Reset that happened last week. You can look at last week's video. You were asked to start creating this new world for yourself, all right? And I know you're doing an amazing job creating your new reality, but this month the planets, they're going to say, show us how far you've come, and own it. Own your new reality. Luckily, you've got some really great teachers. You have Saturn, you have Neptune, Mars, everybody, right? They're going to guide you into your new era that, remember, is non-negotiable. And March, it is like this initiation, okay? You're going to start building your new world. By the middle of the month, you're going to be expected to make it real, okay? Because there's another reset happening, and we'll talk about it. It is, the equinox, but it's a cluster of aspects that are happening. But it is at the equinox, March 20th, when all the planets are direct, okay? So that's really great. We'll talk about it. Just remember, we are in eclipse season. The eclipse is in your sign, all right? You will have another one. That's going to be 2027. But even still, this one's a big one. It's important. Just know radical change is in the air. And you'll notice there are no blue asterisks that indicate the best aspect of the month, because if you saw my March astrology overview live stream, which I'll leave at the end of this video for you, you're welcome, there are no challenging aspects. Can you believe that? Now, why is that such a big deal? Because if you saw the live stream, I'll leave it at the end of this video because there's a lot of information there that I'm not going to talk about here. This is the month where there's almost an aspect every day, almost a major aspect every day. Some days 2, 3, 4 major aspects. It's a loaded month, okay? But it's a great month. It's one of the best months of 2026. So when I say no aspects or challenging aspects, I'm talking about squares. I'm talking about oppositions. Obviously, we're leaving out the moon. Okay, that's a different story, right? Emotion. But anyway, here's the thing. Sure, there's no challenging aspects, but the magnitude of some aspects this month are going to be so strong. And then I talked about these cluster of aspects. So it's really up to you on how you work with these energies. All right. So the last thing I'm going to tell you about March. I told you in your 2026 forecast, I'll leave that somewhere. You can find it in the playlist. There's 3 flashpoints in 2026, 3 months that are just movers and shakers, big things happening. And that would be February, that would be April, and that would be July. All right? So you heard me say February and April. March fits right in the middle. All right? So March is more like a bridge. You're going to see that the majority of the planets are in this one small section of the sky, just crammed in this one small section. Where are they? They're in Pisces and Aries. Pisces, which represents endings, and Aries, the beginning of the beginning. And so you're going to see change. Remember, this is that bridge, old world, new world. You've already started. You've already begun. And another thing just to note, Mercury, your ruler is retrograde for the majority of the month. So keep that in mind. Things can be a little bit confusing. Be very mindful of, delays, miscommunication, all of that. But you're definitely going to have some moments where the Mercury retrograde actually really good for you. Okay? Just trust your intuition, and we'll talk about it, all right? But there's going to be a lot this month that's going to ask you, what are you willing to let go for your new era, all right? Keep that in mind. Now, I'm gonna skip some things here. All right, we're just gonna go over the main highlights, and then when we break it out week by week, I'll talk about some of these. All right, I just want to get again a loaded month. There's a lot happening. And lastly, please pay attention to the first week. It's really important. And then next week in your weekly forecast, I will be skipping the first week to go straight to the second week. It's applesauce, okay? Bonkersville. So grab your bow and arrow, your bat, whatever you need in your Spiritual Warrior Academy. Class is beginning. One thing I'm going to really quickly tell you on Sunday, and that's the other thing, a lot of things are not even on the whiteboard, and there's a lot more in the back. Sunday, March 1st, Ceres will conjunct Chiron and Eris in Aries. Yeah? And so we're talking about a dwarf planet, your dwarf planet, right? Ceres belongs to you, okay? And then we know Chiron, we know Eris, Mars' sister, the disruptor. Anyway, Ceres, all about nourishment, yeah? All about nurturing, self-nurturing. A lot of, food intolerances. We're going to talk about this a little bit more, yeah? Next week. But Ceres, Mama Bear, okay? Mama Earth, Mother Earth. When you move into this week, the fact that she is going to be conjuncting Chiron and Eris in Aries, right? Aries rules your 8th house of transformation, of death and rebirth, of caterpillar to butterfly, of relationships, building relationships, deepening relationships. 8th house is deep, it's intimate, a lot of intimacy here, okay? As well as money, building your wealth. We'll talk about it. But here's the thing. Ceres is saying you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself, all right? So you can take care of others. You can't take care of others if you're not in that space, okay? So as soon as the month begins, you're going to have to ask yourself, what are some needs that are unmet? Yeah? Think about you, all right? This is all about protection. This is all about, maybe respect, fairness. Really think about that, all right? We're already under the window of the eclipse in your sign. Now, as part of your transformation too, as part of, relationships, love, business, All right. So, and yes, your like wealth, all right, money. And when I say money, not your salary. We're talking about shared resources. So we're talking about investments, inheritance, joint bank accounts. It takes two to tango in the eighth house. Yeah. It's also royalties. It's taxes. It's loans. It's also even karmic debt. All right. We'll talk about it now. Monday, March 2nd, Mars is going to move into Pisces. This is the first time in 2 years. So, this, first of all, you got Venus, you got the Sun, yeah, you got Mercury, your ruler, and now you got Mars in Pisces. A lot of energy in Pisces. And Pisces, as you know, is your opposite sign. So, this represents relationships for you, partnerships, love, and marriage, but also business partners. All of that. Yeah. Pluto is going to be active, bringing in colleagues, employees. You're going to have some, moments, as well as contracts and agreements and commitments. And so you're going to have a lot of emphasis there this month. Mars is here all month. All right. And as you know, Pisces in general is very spiritual, very emotional, a lot of creative energy, healing, wonderful things like that. Wonderful things that Mars is so not into, right? He likes action movies. He likes burning things. He likes being a gladiator. Anyway, so you would think that Mars doesn't do well in Pisces. No, Mars does really good here. Listen, sure, Mars, the god warrior, fiery, right? In a water sign, doesn't really, but all his energy will be directed into the spiritual, the metaphysical, therapy, creativity, creative arts. You're going to feel this, okay? You're going to feel very inspired in this direction, especially infusing all this energy into relationships, partnerships, contracts, because Mars, he's wading through the infinite waters, emotional waters of Pisces, and he is going to be relentless because he is the ruler of Aries, the next sign over, okay, from Pisces. It's his home. He sees it across this seascape. Yeah, his conviction is going to be like a mountain, and he's going to be generating energy. You know that. I mean, it's Mars. It's Mars. Like when he's in these, this dreamy spiritual seascape of Pisces. Well, there's gonna be ripples. Okay. So use this, please. This is all about action, and for you, intention. This is an awakening within itself. I mean, this is really great. So again, for the entire month, very spiritual. Your soul will be lit, as the kids no longer say. You're going to feel emotionally driven, passionate, taking inspired action toward what inspires you, especially with relationships, partnerships, everything that I just said. This can be personal relationships too. Relationship with your sister, with your, a bus driver, whoever it is, right? Wherever that energy exists. But this is inspiring. Yeah. You're going to ask what's truly meaningful for me in this relationship, in this partnership, or one that I'm seeking, one that I love. Yeah. And contracts, agreements as well. Again, it can be love. It can be, marriage. It can also be other things that you might want to sign. But again, use this. It's all things divine. This Piscean energy with the stellium here. So initiate, please, because you are going to have so much emphasis on relationships this month, okay? With your 7th and your 8th activated. Now, Tuesday, March 3rd, we're here. The total blood moon lunar eclipse in your sign. It's about 13 degrees, 6 a.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time, if you want to convert that to wherever you live in the world. But again, you're going to feel this. You're already feeling it. I dropped these forecasts early. You're going to feel it. You're already feeling it. Okay? It's in your sign. And you feel it, like you're going to feel it a week before, week, 2 weeks after, the effects of it. Yes, it's going to be like a month long. I'm sorry, 6 months long. It's strong. It's a lunar eclipse. And as you know, they're, 100 times more powerful than a full moon. What does a full moon do? It brings culmination and turning points and endings, as does Pisces. Remember, 4 planets in Pisces, the last zodiac. And so there's truly something here coming to completion. Okay? Especially in that Pisces area of your chart. But in for you, it's in your sign. And so a lot of this may be this personal reckoning that you have, maybe something about relationships. Yes, obviously, relationships may end around this time, or they may reach a turning point. What is the next phase? How do we ascend, right? Remember, eclipses bring change, but they also, especially lunar eclipses, eclipse things out of your life. This eclipse, it's right on the nodes, yeah? So expect fated change. And a lot of this is going to be eliminating and reducing old habits and patterns. So this is it. Listen, I want you to think about what happened for you in August and September last year. Remember, we had the new moon solar eclipse in your sign, September 21st. And then we had it was like we had a new moon in your sign in August as well. So just think what started around that time. And because these are in your sign, what you all about you, what happened for you? This is in your sign. This is in your first house. All right. So if you are a Virgo, it's more about your life purpose. There could have been something here really big with your career. It could, your soul's purpose. There could have been something here, with how you feel about relationships, how you want to move forward with that, and agreements and contracts that maybe, long lasting for you, something that you've really dreamed of. I mean, if you're Virgo rising, this is like how people, see you, how you want people to perceive you. All of this is still just going to be you. It's your approach to life. This is you. What are the changes you want? And you are going to be making change. There's strong mutable energy around this time. You're going to be adapting to change. And again, remember, the Pisces Virgo axis is I call the healing path. So there's something here that can be really cathartic. Yeah. And remember, you, Virgo, represent like service to others, but keep all of that in mind. This is also a Mercury ruled, eclipse. So the fact that it's your ruler that's, retrograde right now, we'll talk about that, but there will be some truth coming to light. There may be some important conversations that you need to have. There may be something that you're really thinking about, maybe a new way of thinking, or maybe this sudden insight. Remember, full moons illuminate, eclipses really illuminate, like you've got 5,000 spotlights on you, all right? Or even the light inside you really, really radiating at this point. So it's very likely there's going to be some people from your past that start emerging in your physical world, even events and circumstances, as well as, up here. All right. But please focus on your health, spiritual, emotional, physical, mental, all of it. Okay. That's all part of this. Again, this is on the health axis. So there's going to be something with this eclipse that's going to show you where you may not be taking care of yourself. Okay. Remember, Sirius, your dwarf planet, all right? And a dwarf, like Pluto's a dwarf planet. That's how big of a deal Sirius is. Right here, okay? At the same time. So again, a cluster of something significant happening for you. And when I say taking care of yourself, I mean, are you sitting too much? Are you putting too much energy into everything having to be perfect, right? Those lower expressions of your sign. Are you being self-critical? Are you being hard on yourself? Are you worrying too much? All of this takes a toll on your health. Are you overworking? Are you on the verge of burnout, but you're still like, gotta get it done? Do you have strict routines? Are you thinking pessimistically? Again, it's everything, all forms of health. All right. So let me just remind you, Virgo, nobody is perfect. Okay. We're all human. You're going to have to. Virgo, I'm about to start crying. It's just, Yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah. Mm, it's a big eclipse. Okay. Um. Yeah. And remember, I mean, Virgo, your sign is all about purification. All right. So consider this also like a detox. It can be a spiritual detox. It can be, yeah, even a physical one because, remember, your Mercury ruled, yeah, I mean, you rule the nervous system, right? You rule the digestive system. That's why Ceres is going to be so important. We're going to talk about Ceres more next week when she moves into Taurus. Taurus rules food. So we'll talk about this, okay? And so do do the cleansing, do the, break out the sage, do what you need to do. But just tell yourself this day that you will release anything that no longer serves your higher good. Yeah? You're protecting your time, your health, your mission, all of that, okay? Do some breath work, do some gardening. You're an earth sign, all right? Do some grounding, put crystals in your water. Just know there is going to be some big change for you around this time, all right? There's going to be something that's got to go, all right? And it may have to be something about you. And so this is a time to be really honest with yourself. Again, a lot may be illuminated, and you got to let the past be the past. Put things in the old world, leave it there. You cannot wear skinny jeans on your new era tour. All right, you can if you want. Or what are those bell bottoms? That's part of the past. Anyway, if you are a cross watcher, if you watch for a rising or your moon, or for your husband, your sister, your mom, whoever, mutable signs: Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. This is okay. You're gonna feel this the most if you know your natal chart. If you have any planets 10 to 15 degrees in any of those signs, then those planets are going to be, yeah, aspected. You're going to feel it the most. Now, on the same day, now here's the thing. I don't want you to worry. It's just saying, like, remember, everything has been just out with the old, in with the new. I've been saying that every week to prepare you because that's what's going to be happening this month and even April. Now, and what's happening this day is you will have Venus and Pisces sextile Uranus and Taurus. So that's absolutely amazing. You got Cash App, you got a bank account, right? Your checkbook. I mean, Venus, the planet of money, yeah, is meeting up with Uranus, the planet of surprises. Uranus and Taurus, the finance sign. Venus is home. So there's money matters involved here. Okay. And you could get a sudden windfall, unexpected raise, unexpected contract agreement. Remember, your seventh house, so activated, but this brings in your ninth house as well, and which is really great. Your ninth and your sixth, but ninth house is, spirituality. It's your worldview. It's your philosophies. It's you imparting wisdom, but it's also travel. It's also education, publishing, broadcasting, all of that. So there really can be something here that's yeah, lucrative. That if you're not here for money, this is also just very romantic. Venus remembers love and relationships and is in your seventh house of love and marriage and relationships, but also creativity, romance, all of that, right? You're gonna see change. All right, it's Uranus, right? Or breakthroughs in relationships, in projects. Remember, sextiles are windows of opportunity for you to take action. You have Mars here. All right. You're going to feel magnetic around this eclipse. You're going to feel stimulated as well. Please be present. Please be social. Put yourself out there. Yeah. This is all about breaking out of your comfort zone too. We have this aspect only twice a year with Venus and Uranus. So there really could be some really great payoff here if you take your shot. All right. This is for you to have your breakthrough. This is also the last aspect you're going to have with an exalted Venus, okay, for a year, all right? And so the other great thing about this eclipse is that you see what's happening after, right? Jupiter's already connecting. Jupiter's already connecting with this eclipse. Jupiter in Cancer, exalted in your 11th house of your future hopes and long-term goals and aspirations, but also your the people that you connect with. The 11th house is very social. It's your friends, your squad, organizations, communities that you belong to, your Facebook group, whatever it is, right? It's the masses. The 11th house could be your audience as well. But what really kicks things up is that Juno, Jupiter's wife, who rules, truth and justice, equality in love and marriage and fidelity and business partners and contracts and agreements, she is going to connect with this eclipse as well, with this amazing nodal axis. And so you've got Juno and Jupiter. Yeah, this is a big deal because Juno's in Capricorn, okay? And that's your 5th house of joy and pleasure and love and true love and romance and family and children and, creative projects, creativity, your self-expression and hobbies, something like entrepreneurial here as well. And yes, it's like a fun money, right? It's like having fun, like casinos, etc., like a scratch off ticket, just letting you know. But yeah. And yeah, sex. It's the 5th house. So yeah. Procreation. You are, and you already, and that could even, if it's not you, it could be like, maybe your granddaughter, is having a baby, whatever it is. There's expansion, right? Jupiter expands, but there is something here where you may have some changes. All right. And everything that I just talked about. Now, Thursday, March 5th is the day, right? It's the peak. You're going to feel the sun trine Jupiter during your eclipse and then, days after. But this is so, we get this once out of 2 times this year. All right. The next time will be in December. But when you have the sun in Pisces trine the planet of luck and good fortune and wisdom and profit, yeah, who's at his degree of exaltation, which I explained last week, this is a big deal. Well, this brings you success. This is going to bring you success. This is absolutely amazing. This connects your 11th and your 7th. And honestly, like really, Jupiter natively rules your 7th. So there's really something here big with partnerships and relationships, contracts, agreements, love, marriage, but it's very optimistic. And it's hope, it's self-belief, it's your faith restored in some way. Opportunities coming, something broadening your horizons as well. Remember, Jupiter expands and is good fortune. So I absolutely love this. It's something here about your future. Your sense of purpose could be really locked in. And again, home and family also really strongly highlighted for you. There could be some changes there, but really good ones. Okay. Real estate. So it's got to be the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, that feel this the most. And I am throwing in the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, if you have any planets 13 to 17 degrees in mostly the water signs, but earth signs too, in your chart, you're really going to feel it. And then Friday, March 6th, Venus will move into Aries. Okay. So this is very interesting. She's leaving her place of exaltation. It's like, then it's almost like, you're going to feel the shift, okay? Because what's happening is she's joining Saturn and Neptune at those very early degrees in Aries, okay? And so you can expect a shift in your relationships and with finances and money and creative projects, everything that your heart desires. It's Venus, and she's in the sign of leadership now. And so there's something here for you with leadership, confidence, new projects, and in business. You're going to feel a lot more driven, a lot more assertive, and maybe a little bit less open to compromise. Because just the way that Mercury is detriment in Pisces, right? Saturn is in his fall in Aries, doesn't do well there. Uranus feels stuck in Taurus. Venus, who is harmony and diplomacy, doesn't do well in the sign of I am. Okay. And so, but you can still work with this. What's happening here, you are going to feel that intensity. Remember, she's now in your 8th house, which is deepening relationships, which is intimacy. Okay. Also, sex. Yeah, it's the eighth house. Also, uh, it's more about like investments for your future. Okay, so it involves money too, and so that's just you've got partnerships and money are going to be big themes for you, as well as contracts, agreements. But just make sure that you're asking yourself, what's in it for me? Because you will be, right? This is, Aries is very independent. Venus is here. You're going to put yourself first, but do it in a way that serves your higher self. Okay. Now, Saturday, March 7th, we do have a Mercury Cazimi in Pisces. There's got to be some big moment of clarity that you have. Sure, Mercury is retrograde. Mercury's a ruler. Doesn't matter. This just makes it a lot stronger for you. Okay. This is like a reset. This is, it's in Pisces. So it's like consciousness meets the subconscious. Like there's a convergence here. You're going to get a download. You're going to get a revelation. You're going to have a dream. Pay attention to your dreams. You're going to likely astral project. I mean, this is strong. It is a spiritual awakening that you're going to make real. Okay. So I would not be surprised if you have some sort of revelation around this time. This is also a time where I wouldn't be surprised if you make some sort of announcement, or you could be considering a partnership or signing something, and likely circumstances, events, or people from your past may be involved with this as well. And again, it just may be coming up from your subconscious as well. And here's the thing. We will have the moon in Scorpio. And if you're a subscriber, I always bring up the moon in Scorpio. And so that adds a lot more intensity, right? The moon in Scorpio, that's a lot of emotional intensity. The moon doesn't do well in Scorpio, right? So the fact that you have a bundle of planets in your eighth house, and there's going to be more moving there very soon, all right? The eighth house, all about transformation, all about regeneration. It's really deep. Okay, it's Pluto ruled. Yeah, the ruler of the underworld. I mean, right? A lot of truth, a lot of intuition here, but it's Scorpio's home. And so there may be some intensity there in your eighth house. As part of your transformation, you're going to be going through this transformative process for quite some time. The good news is we're going to have a grand water trine with the moon in Scorpio, Jupiter in Cancer, Mercury in Pisces. Okay. And this is going to be for several days. So there's definitely going to be some emphasis here on partnerships, relationships, how you feel about them, what you want moving forward, how, again, deepening them, like really, really bonding and building that trust, but also money, right? For your future, investments for your future, like I said, royalties, inheritance, investments, loans, taxes. It can also be some, the eighth house, like I said, karmic debt as well. There could be something here where you're just like, okay, I feel this in my bones. It's, all this Piscean energy is very spiritual. There's empowerment here though. All right. So, again, you're going to have this for several days, and then you will also have Venus conjunct Neptune in Aries. Yeah. So Venus being the lower octave of Neptune. They're related, little sister, big sister. This is going to amplify creativity, imagination, the arts. Remember, they both rule music, play music. This is harmonizing here. All right. Hemisync, that flow state. Just dream big. Okay. With this aspect as well. There's something here with your values. I mean, especially with Venus and Aries, like, yeah, money as well. So the fact that you have the planet of love and money, Venus, in your eighth house, that has to do with love and money, you're going to have a lot of emphasis here too. Yep. So now, Sunday, March 8th, happy daylight savings. Big day. We got about 4 aspects happening. We got Venus conjunct Saturn, 2 degrees in Aries. So speaking of initiation, well, here we go. This is the first time you've had Venus conjunct Saturn in Aries in 29 years. And so there's something here. I want you to think, remember, it's a conjunction. It's at that early degree. I want you to see this as a seeding point with love, money, relationships for the long term. That's what Saturn does. Yeah. It is your 8th house. That's all about the long term. Remember, investments, right? Love, money, whatever you're investing your time and energy into. Venus and Saturn, as I said earlier, both do not do well in Aries. And so this is more of a checkpoint. This is more of like, okay, is deepening this relationship, is moving this direction, is, savings or whatever, is this something that I'm really going to commit to? So it really is, again, more thinking about you rather than let's think about this together. More you. All right. And if you are really committed, great. You just may want to set some boundaries. There is just this sense of independence here, but this is going to be a big moment for you. All right. And remember, Saturn, planet of karma. All right. Karma literally means action in Sanskrit. Saturn, karma, is in the sign of action. So put some energy into what you want out of this when it comes to relationships and partnerships and love and marriage and your transformation ultimately, right? Because you're likely going to have to make a decision around this time. And there may be some of y'all where, others can't come with you on your path forward. You do not want them to. And so it may be a big moment, but there is definitely going to be something brewing for something new that definitely needs structure, more discipline. Cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn will feel this the most. If you have any planets 0 to 4 degrees in any of those signs in your natal chart, you will. Now, the good news on top of, that's, again, it's great. It's just potent. Mercury trine Jupiter, 15 degrees. And so, yeah, you have your ruler trining Jupiter in Cancer in your 11th house of your future hopes and goals and dreams. During the time of Venus conjunct Saturn, this is kind of a big deal. So you may actually get really lucky news around this time. You may get, this is all about divine timing, by the way. You might get messages. You might have a conversation that moves the needle forward. You might get some insights, but whatever it is, it's lucky, it's good, it's optimistic. You may even decide to pitch something, negotiate. Remember, we're in Pisces energy, Pisces season, which is forgiveness. There may be some apologies around this time. There may be some deep conversations, something where you're supporting others, where you feel blessed and wiser, okay? And again, Mercury retrograde means circumstances, events, people from your past may be a part of this. They may not be either, right? Like water signs will feel this the most. And then remember that grand water trine is still happening. So it's amplifying all of this behind the scenes. And the Scorpio, remember, Moon is Scorpio. Scorpio rules your 3rd house. And 3rd house is communication. It is, having those deep conversations. So there may be some around this time. Now, the second week, Tuesday, March 10th, Jupiter will go direct. You are going to see everything shift in an enormous way with Jupiter exalted. Okay, so now this is a little bit more outward stuff. Like now this is more like in your physical world. You're likely going to be doing a lot more networking. A lot of people are going to be coming to you, right? It's your 11th house. There may be something here with social media that could, really take off for you as well. Or you could be connecting with people through social media, DMs. But again, this is all about what you want for your future. And we're going to talk about Mars conjuncting the North Node, Mercury conjuncting Mars, all of this next week. These are big. Ceres moving into Taurus, we'll talk about it next week because this is karmic. It's karmic. And then I just want to get to this big cluster of dates. All right. So we will also talk about this in your weekly forecast, but Tuesday, and I want you to pay attention to the 17th to the 21st. And of course, you are going to be impacted the most with Gemini because Mercury on Tuesday, March 17th, happy St. Patrick's Day, Mercury retrograde will conjunct the North Node in Pisces at 8 degrees. Now, remember in your February forecast, I told you February 12th When Mercury conjuncted the North Node, I said pay attention to that date, because when Mercury goes direct on March 20th, it will be at the same degree. There is going to be something here between March 17th to March 20th that brings something up from March 12th. There's going to be something from around March 12th that's coming up again. All right. Now, you also have Wednesday, March 18th, a new moon in Pisces. And this is at 28 degrees. This is one of the best new moons of the year. This is a new moon in Pisces at 28 degrees. This is the beginning of the end, okay? Being at a new moon, you see what's happening 2 days later, right? The equinox at the beginning. So this is such a big cluster of days. Now, one of the reasons why this is one of the best new moons is because you are going to have the sun sextile Uranus perfectly. And this is just so stimulating and exciting. But you have this baked in, all right? With the fact that this new moon is going to bring this new partnership, new relationship, personal relationship. There's something here, right? But then when you have the sun in Pisces, sextile Uranus in Taurus, you're going to feel change. You're going to have change. And again, that's your ninth house. So a lot of this could be your beliefs, your spiritual beliefs, your belief system. It could be you just becoming the change, you being the change, right? It's sextile. You got to put some effort into it. You may feel the urge to move in a new direction. You may have some big insights, but optimistic, with confidence. And yes, unexpected change. But we have another grand trine with Uranus in Taurus, the sun in Pisces, and Juno in Capricorn. So there's this feel-good energy here. There is a lot of energy around soulmates. I mean, it's your fifth house, like romance and, again, family and children. All of this is part of this. Yeah, it's a special new moon. Some of y'all, again, there may be, it's like when you've got Juno in Capricorn, your fifth, it really amplifies that, and the fact that Uranus and Taurus is in your ninth. So there's legal matters, there's the courts, there's something that you're signing, but then also something that you're really making official. So I would not be surprised if there's something here, right? And then you see that in 2 days, like Mercury does go direct. So anyway, pay attention to this new moon. It's really big. It's really great. And all the mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, especially Pisces and you, will feel this the most if you have any planets 25 to 29 degrees in any of those signs that I just mentioned in your natal chart. You're really going to feel this, end of an era, beginning of a new. You're going to feel that the most. Now, Friday, March 20th, the equinox. Yeah. Happy spring. We're here. Happy fall in the southern hemisphere. We move into Aries season. The sun is exalted in Aries. This is a big deal. And for the next 4 weeks, yes, you're going to have so much focus and emphasis on your eighth house, on your transformation, on everything that, I talked about earlier, with building relationships and deepening them and with money, shared money. Anyway, this is also the new year, all right? Oh, and Mercury goes direct. Yeah, so there you go. But this is the real new year. Yeah, I've talked about this. I talked about my last in the live stream as well. But remember, this is it, okay? For thousands and thousands and thousands of years, this is when the year began, until Pope Gregory, changed the calendar system, the Gregorian calendar, just not even just a couple hundred years ago. All right. So November, Novo 9. Yeah. No, it's not the 11th month. And you can do that with every month. All right. So this is the real new year where everything comes to life in our world. Okay. This point, we all have biofields. We're connected to Earth. You're going to just feel this energy, just this charge of everything that's happening. I mean, it's right at the time of the new moon in Pisces, the beginning of the end, moving into the equinox, the beginning of the beginning. This is a big portal. A Mercury going direct. You're going to have all this clarity with relationships and partnerships. You're going to have all these downloads. And then Saturday, March 21st, you will have Mars trine Jupiter. This is one of the best aspects of 2026, one of my favorite aspects. I mean, this is already rare, but Jupiter has not been in Cancer for, since 2014. And so we haven't experienced this with an exalted Jupiter in Cancer for 12 years. And this is Mars. So this is all or nothing. This is LFG, right? And so really love it, especially there's so much emphasis on relationships, contracts, agreements, commitments, things like that. All right. And then Jupiter there for a lot of y'all, it's going to be with your significant other or, filling in that space. There's got to be something here with friendships, people that you connect with. I wouldn't be surprised if you are single, for instance, like maybe you meet someone through, I don't know, your Facebook group or, like things like that, or someone introduces you to someone. And that can be business wise as well. Remember, you have so much energy in your 8th house. I mean, we literally are just now in Aries season. So it could even be like an investor or financial planner, things like that. But anyway, this is so nice. It's emotionally charged. It's 2 water signs, all right? But there's doors opening, and I really love this. And then let's do your spread. We'll talk about more of these aspects later. There are going to be some big ones, but I am looking at the time. I'm just like, I can keep going. Like I said, it's a loaded month. I mean, it's loaded. There's so much happening. I would just say one last thing is Wednesday, March 25th, we will have a Saturn Cazimi. All right. And so it happens once a year. We're talking about this new synodic cycle. It's happening in Aries, obviously, in your 8th house. Yeah. So again, big energy with love and relationships. Yeah. Because the sun is going to sextile Pluto here also as well. So there could be something here with work as well. Anyway, let's get started. Virgo, let's see what's going on for you. Yeah. For March 2026. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. Virgo, come on. How are y'all doing? You made me cry. You made me cry. Oh my gosh. I got really emotional. I was feeling something. And a lot of it is like just, obviously I know a lot of Virgos that I just mentioned, but more. Yeah. So anyway, y'all are amazing. I do a traditional Celtic cross spread, offers the best overview, especially for a monthly forecast. If we need we'll pull clarifiers if we need to. And I love y'all. All right, let's get started. Yeah, you're good. They were tears of joy. Wow, you're gonna get. There you go. I'll even give you, let me see. I don't know who they are, but you get them. There we go. You like. You want to take a screenshot? Like, I can pose for you. Like, this is amazing. Yeah, the 8 of Swords. I did say it, a lot of these, potent aspects. It's how you handle it, and we do call this the 8 of Swords a self-victim card. She put herself here. She didn't want to face a reality. There are some things where she's just like, it's a little, she's surrounded by swords. She's not completely encircled. You see her feet are free. You see her, foot, like, in the water. She's still in touch with her emotions. A little bit, right? But she can walk out anytime she wants. All right. So this is you. All right. There's got to be something here with this eclipse. As you move into the month, you might have to face. Okay. You might have to, even confront. But again, a lot of it's going to be you. There may be something about you that you have to be honest with. And that just makes you, feel more empowered when you release those things. Right. And so that would be like the big lesson here with that 8 of Swords. Okay. You're going to be fine. Remember what I said, we're all human. Right. So there also may be, a lot of this feels like maybe there's something with a partnership, relationship, career may, be a thing. That's going to be more of a thing in April for you. But there may be something here where It could be someone that puts you, and makes you feel this way. All right. It could be a circumstance that makes you feel this way, but it's all about breaking free from that. All right. You have Uranus. By the way, Uranus, we're out of the squares. Okay. Yeah. We have one last one, Mars square Uranus, at the end of February, which is, the most challenging. But then then we're done. We're out of that cycle where it's all sextiles. Okay. Remember, no challenging aspects. So you've got that. It's all about you. You've got to break free. And then when you break free, oh, you really break free. It's like, and then you ascend. And then you're floating in the sky, right? On cloud, cloud 21. And be very proud of yourself. This is, all right? When you break free, you're going to feel very proud of yourself. That's the last thing you had to do. Just something that you had to face, something you had to think about, something that you're clearing things up here. It is a sword suit. All right. That's your last test to get to the end of the fool's journey, right? The last card, the world, all of it. And speaking of test, yeah, the world is attributed to the planet Saturn, and he's moved on into a new sign. So you're clearing everything. A lot of it will be relationships, partnerships. Okay. Something here, and you're starting everything new. Everything's about to happen for you. You're gonna feel really good. Okay. And so it's in the heart of your spread. I mean, like I said, this month, like I did say, you're up there as in someone who's going to go through the biggest transformation. This is going to be one of the biggest months for you, with your 8th house so activated, with a new moon in Pisces, with an eclipse in your sign. And so do everything where you're proud of yourself for clearing the way for all these new things that are going to bring into your life. Now you have the Emperor in your challenge area. 2 things here. Yeah, that's what you're meant to feel, right? So it's do what you need to do to feel more empowered, where you're feeling confident. I mean, the Emperor is Aries, and he is a leader. He's the ruler, right? But he's got that confidence. He is the author of his own story. He does rule his destiny. So you got to feel that confidence, okay? And I feel like you will. I feel like you're going to be coming out of something where it like I said, your faith restored, confidence restored. But the other thing is, yes, there may be someone it's the last thing, and it's connected here to the last thing. You're going to have a conversation with someone. And maybe it's, what are we doing moving forward? Or is this it? Okay. You're in my way. That's Venus and Aries. Okay. That's not me. That's Venus and Aries. Like, you're in my way. It's all about me. He is the father of tarot. It could be a parent. It could be a parental figure. He's the authority. It could be an authority. It could be a VIP. It could be a boss, or it could be a partner who is, won't let you have your say. There's like no balance there. Who's really, So just keep that in mind. All right. That may be the thing that you may have to have a conversation about. And that could be something that makes you like, you have the Knight of Wands though, and you have strength. So you've got everything on your side. You got everything within you. All right. You just got to let that come out. All right. That inner courage, that bravery, that boldness, that, believing in yourself, and yeah, strength. Listen, this is like, it's almost like, all the possibilities that do exist for you, but you have to really feel it in your bones. The other Knight of Wands in your crown. I love that. You're ready. You're ready to go. You're ready for this new mission. You're ready for this venture. And a lot of it's just picking things up from the past as well. Maybe a current relationship, maybe a former relationship that you want to get back together. Again, anything. It can be like love, marriage, career, business. It can be, relationship with your sister, things that, whatever it is, right? But, this is, wands are your passions, right? They're this life force. They're invigorating. They have the spirit of fire. And so it's like fire under your feet, but like more like fire in your soul, like I said earlier, but like fire in your mind. You're like just amped up. All right. So go for it. Go for it. A lot of y'all, are you, yeah. Some of y'all may travel in the beginning of the month. Even at the end of the month, there may be some trips that you're planning, but either way, like you're just ready for this mission. You're ready to move forward and go after your passions. And then, wow, you have the 4 wands in your future. So it's again, there's something here that's building. There's something here that's moving in the direction with, yeah, you see two people here. This card is actually attributed to Venus and Aries, so it's very interesting. But there's something formulating. The fours are really about structure. It's all about structure moving forward, but this is also freedom. This is also milestones. This is a celebration. All right. So you got a lot to look forward to. Okay. Especially with relationships and your long-term goals and relationships and investments and money. But there's something that's happening that's really great. Let's get to your stuff. Virgo, yeah, really nice. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, share with your sister, your husband, whoever, your best friend. And yeah, but leave comments. Tell me what's going on. I always like to see, like, is this what my mom's going through too? Like, leave comments, leave comments. All right, let's see. Yeah, interesting. You are this, yeah, like new era for sure. A lot of it's within you. Again, yeah, the Hierophant, which is really great. He is, kind of like a bridge maker himself. But this is spiritual warrior. This is that spiritual leader. This is someone who connects to the divine in our physical world. A lot of that's going to be Mercury and Pisces for you, but a stellium Pisces moving into your 8th house. Like, anyway, feel it. All right. Feel that confidence here, that leadership with the Hierophant. This is someone like you vibe with, like, because he loves organization. He loves like structure, things like that. Right. It's just his to-do list has been checked off, but he is someone who imparts wisdom. Okay. And so it just feels like that's the direction that you may be heading. That's the direction where you have those little moments of awakening. It doesn't matter if it's like, your podcast or, for your family or for, your Facebook group of, gray sweaters that, do we love them, hate them? I don't know. You may have, 20,000, whatever it is. I would have more confidence in the fact that you do have it in you to, help others, inspire others, support others. Yeah. Yeah. The 3 of Pentacles as well. Yeah. There's something that you're building for sure. It's 3 of Pentacles. 3 is a, vibration of the Empress. It's all about creation. It's all about, creating something here, but it's also growth. It's advancement, a lot of creativity with 3. You see the stonemason with the architects, right? So there's this element of teamwork, and they're going to be successful because they're just very serious about this. He can't build this cathedral without them, and vice versa. And so with your 11th house activated, with Jupiter going direct in your 11th house and just everything else that's happening for you, network and have your moments. But it does look like there is something as part of your new journey, your brand new era. It's a feel good feeling of something that you're building. It is Pentacles as well, so there could be something here like a new job, like a new career, like a new, you launching your own thing as well, but other people involved. Okay. And it could be very, very new to you. All right. And that could still be a little bit of that. Have that confidence. You have the, judgment. It's like you do want this spiritual awakening. You're going to have it. You're going to have a lot of sex with Uranus and Taurus, with the Sun, with Venus. Like, it's great. That's your, you're going to feel it. This is really great because it's almost like some of y'all feel like this month, especially with Mercury retrograde in Pisces, there's this feeling of having a second chance. Yeah, does that make sense? Move in that direction, but feel it. Trust your intuition as well. Now, you have the 5 of Wands, your final outcome. Yeah, there could be some competitive energy here with that 5 of Wands, especially if you have children. There may be something with children, like where there's like, what's going on? They're not even hitting each other. They're just like swinging their wands in the air. So this is kind of like nonsense. It's like not worth your time. This card, I mean, the whole thing about this card is like whoever you're working with, all right, in any capacity, let's do everything in a way where we rise above together, okay? Where we learn from each other, where we get along. And again, Mercury will be retrograde. When Mercury is retrograde, you obviously, you and Virgo, I'm sorry, you and Gemini are the ones that are impacted the most. So there can be a lot of confusion. There can be a lot of miscommunication. You can get through it, okay? Remember, even with Saturn and Aries, that you're gonna feel that. It's remember what I said. Practice patience, especially with Mercury retrograde on top of that. But I'll clarify that 5 of Wands. Yeah, just get through that noise. Get through that noise. Look at what's waiting for you. You have the King of Pentacles, and because you are all about service to others, your 8th house is activated, your 7th house is activated, your 11th house is activated, your 5th house is activated. There's so much happening where you will really have no choice but to, network and communicate and be in contact with others. And, the King of Pentacles is a big provider. He's a big protector. And so that's where you're going to end up. He is the richest king. He does have confidence, but he's also someone, again, the sense of freedom feels really good. All right. Especially coming from that where you don't feel it. Right. Look at this journey. You're good. This is going to be a great month for you. Now, let's break it down week by week. The first week, Virgo, you are, well, obviously that eclipse is the biggest thing. Don't forget Mars and Venus will be moving into Aries. All right. But you do have Venus in Pisces, sextile Uranus and Taurus, which is really amazing. And the Sun trine Jupiter. Look at all these amazing aspects, right? You have Mercury, you have the Mercury Cazimi. You're going to have Venus conjunct Neptune for the first time. And well, that was like 164 years. But Venus conjunct Saturn too. All right. That's where you're really getting serious. So like, that's very sobering too. And then Mercury trine Jupiter on that same day. You also have Venus sextile Pluto. We'll talk about that next week. Jupiter is going direct. You have so much happening. Like that's literally, well, let's do the first week. Let's see what's going on for you the first week with everything up to like Mercury trine Jupiter. All right. What's going? Oh shoot, what card fell out? Okay. Well, Ruby, what is going on? First week, you got 2 cards. Let's see. You got 3 cards. Oh my gosh. You had 3 cards pop out. Ruby's a Virgo. Remember that. She that divine timing. 2 of Wands. Yeah. 9 of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. You're good. They're really good. 2 of Wands, really great. Okay. There is a sense of like, something's new, something's ending. You're kind of like creating this new world. You're planning. You're feeling good about it. Okay. You're gonna have to let go at some point of the old ways. Okay. And we know that with an eclipse. When you do, I mean, look at that. Speaking of feeling free, right? This is all about self-sufficiency. The 9 of Pentacles, which is your card, it's attributed to Venus and Virgo. You even see the symbol of Venus all over her gown. This is someone who is just not worrying about money, not worrying about anything. She feels good. She's in her garden of abundance, reaping her rewards. She worked really hard to get here. Okay. Really good. And then you have the Knight of Pentacles. So speaking of investment, speaking of investing for a future, that is the Knight of Pentacles. He's disciplined, he's diligent, and he's also Virgo. He's hardworking. He's in it for the long haul. And that's what's happening for you the first week, where like the 8th house activated, Venus moving into your 8th house, like all of that. It's just, you have Saturn and Neptune there. I mean, you just had a conjunction there. So, wow. I mean, like, talk about building your wealth. All right. Now, and 2 of your cards, that's bonkers. Now the second week is when Jupiter goes direct. Mars will conjunct the north node. I mean, there you go. It's another like fated event, especially with partnerships, relationships, your commitments. There's something karmically rewarding with this. And then you have Mercury conjunct Mars, again, your ruler conjunct Mars in your 7th house of partnerships, relationships, and then Ceres moving into Taurus. We'll talk about that next week. Let's see what's just a little preview, what you can expect for the second week. Virgo. The High Priestess. You're absolutely good. I'm going to have to just grab Ruby real quick. Ruby, I think she was just feeling left out because I'm doing Virgo and, she wants to know what's going on with her. And so here we go. Ruby, you want to say hi to everyone while you growl. High Priestess, second week. I mean, I get it. Listen, you're gonna have to go within. I mean, your 8th house being activated. Remember, that is Scorpio ruled. It's Pluto ruled. One of the most intuitive signs. 8th house is a lot of like digging for the truth, your truth. All right, but also just having that moment where you are connecting with your intuition, your higher mind, all of that. And so it feels really nice, especially because there's she is the guardian of the subconscious, right? So remember what I said, even with the Mercury Cazimi, subconscious meets conscious, there's just got to be a lot coming through, but let it, right? The third week, remember, big cluster of aspects. You have the second Mercury North Node conjunction. You have the new moon in Pisces. You have the Sun sextile Uranus. You have and then we move into spring, fall in the southern hemisphere. Mercury will go direct. We move into Aries season. That would be the equinox on March 20th, and the day after, Mars trine Jupiter. But remember that you're going to feel that during the new moon as well. And then we have a Neptune Cazimi. Okay, that's going to be March 22nd. That's going to be like that's just so transcendent for you. Being in your 8th house, yeah. Let's see what's going on for you. The third week. You can't even make this up. I mean, there you go. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. I think that's your third night. Yeah, is it? You got you got 3 nights. Nights are all about, action. They take action, but they serve a purpose. They're seeking. You're seeking this month. All right, third week, the Knight of Cups. He is the knight in shining armor. I mean, really strong emphasis on relationships right here. And there may be someone coming into your life, someone coming back into your life, but also there's you that just wants to be emotionally fulfilled. And it could be in, a romantic way. It can be in a creative way. Whatever it is, this is amazing. All right. And by the way, the Knight of Cups, he's Pisces. And remember, Pisces rules are 7th. Now, the last week, we do have the Saturn Cazimi with the Sun sextile Pluto. This, again, is really big. There's just this is all about your commitments for sure. And again, a new cycle being set up in your 8th house. Okay, this Aries energy. Saturn natively rules your 5th. So there is an element of something that brings you joy and pleasure, and a lot of focus maybe in the home space with, significant other, with, family, children as well. But we'll talk about it more. Just remember, Saturn is karma, and there is something here where it is a strong conjunction, right? The other thing, the big thing, I actually forgot, Friday, March 27th, that's when we have Saturn sextile Pluto. Remember, that's part of the prism portal. And so that's locked in. That's more behind the scenes. All right. But this is a peak. This is one of those peaks. All right. Remember, this is the prism portal. It's long. It's going to be long. All right. But this is part of it. You're really going to feel this. And there may be something here that's just your everyday activities, your routines are just going to be so different, but in a really great way. Let's see the last week, okay? Oh, and Venus does move into Taurus on the last day. That would be Monday, the 30th, where she's at home. Let's see what's going on for you last week of March. I can't. You're good. I'm very excited for you, very happy for you. This is very special. I don't even know what to say. Page of Wands, you're moving. It's almost like you're moving into something, whether it's existing, whether it's new. And when I say existing, like a relationship or a contract, there could be just some sort of renewal. There could be some tweak to it. There could be something that's, again, like a new phase, an ascension in some way. There it is, that Page of Wands. You could be, I mean, again, pages are messengers. You could be getting like really great messages, or you could be just pursuing something that you know is going to happen. You could be getting a message that, yeah, something new is coming into your life, or it's someone new as well. But this is the Page of Wands. It's just very, very inspiring, bringing this fresh new energy into your life. You're amazing, Virgo. Thanks so much. Next week we will talk more about the second week. Yeah, we'll dig deeper. And then yes, the second spread, the bonus spread, we will pull a lot more cards. I will look at love and money and a career. The main card, your big message for the month, all of that. If tier 3 members, really good and legendary members, you know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. If you like this reading, it'd be great. If you like, subscribe, leave comments. Virgo, I feel like we really bonded. Ruby really wanted to see you. Ruby, who's that? Who's that? She's still in physical therapy, and she's still, but anyway. But I hope you got to enjoy the snow too. Virgo, thanks so much. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.